Hello. Wait.
Hello, Puppet.
Hello, Puppet.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 122.
Ooh.
I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
That means next week will be 123.
Yeah, next week will be 123. And it will be, I think it will be our last episode of the year. The game of the year thing. Probably. Everybody's going back for Christmas and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Thor Ragnarok.
Hooray!
Did you? What did you think?
He hated it.
It's my favorite one now.
Yeah!
I fucking love it.
So good.
I fucking love it. It's so good.
It's so-
I'm so glad I decided to watch Thor Ragnarok.
It's so good. So
Yeah.
the guy who plays, what's the name of the rock character? That's the director.
Carl?
I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that at first. I was like, that was the director.
Yeah. Full mentioned it, so I was like waiting for it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that character's amazing.
He was most
Steals
oh my
every
God.
scene.
Yeah.
Like that final scene where he's carrying the insect. Oh no, I killed him. I stepped on him. Oh, he's alive. Okay. Whatever.
I love his voice. Oh my gosh. So
And I think
good.
like the humor is like just right. It's not too much of it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, what's
just right.
crazy? Well, it's so funny because if you think about it, like, because Guardians of the Galaxy, was very funny, but it had a lot of serious moments. This movie didn't have a ton of true serious moments, but I was laughing the entire way through.
Almost to its detriment, because like one thing I didn't like about the movie is how they're like Bruce Banner is like, if I turn back into the Hulk, I might never turn back. And then they
Yeah.
never really address it. He turns back into the Hulk
No.
and he stays the Hulk. It's like, whatever. No one
yeah.
cares.
Whatever, yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I know.
But when he hits the bridge, oh god, that's so funny.
Yeah. That hurts. It looks like it hurts a lot.
Didn't think that would
Like
happen.
I went and watched it with my friend who like she loves comics and everything, but she got so tired of the formula and the Marvel
Yeah.
stuff.
Understandably.
Even she fucking enjoyed it. So yeah, it's such a damn good movie. And
So good.
what is that? A hunt for what? Wilder people?
The Wilder people.
Wilder people. He had the that big lady as the
Yes.
yeah.
She is Jeff Goldblum's number one.
And Sam Neill was in that movie.
And Sam
Did you
Neill
know
also
that?
cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's doing that whole, I work with certain people thing.
I was
I think that's
really
the next movie I'm
hoping-
gonna watch from him.
I was really hoping for a oh god, what's his name?
the fat kid. The
Murray
kid.
from Flight of the Conchords. Oh man, I'm gonna look it up. But that guy, he's in. So that director, he also did a movie called What We Do in the Shadows, and it's kind of like a pseudo documentary about these vampires living in New Zealand. And this guy, it's really funny. This guy plays a werewolf. Oh man, and he's in Hunt for the Wilder People too. I definitely recommend it. He has really good. sound
Rice
effects.
Darby, Jermaine
Riz Darby's,
Clement.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It's Rice Darby.
Rice Darby.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of comic books, I did see, I think this was 2 weeks ago, I did see Justice League. Did you guys see it yet?
Why
Nope,
did
I'm
you
not gonna
torture
see it.
yourself? What is wrong with you?
It was it was with my family, so free tickets.
Fuck family. Your
So-
time though.
Yeah. So it actually wasn't as bad as I expected. I mean,
How low were your
you don't-
expectations?
I mean, they were pretty low, but like, I mean, I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like, it's not like
In a
a
masochistic
fantastic
kind of way?
Someone was telling me about a really
No.
cool scene where the Flash is running and like Superman's like turning his head to watch the Flash. And I'm just like, oh my
that was-
gosh! I'm like that sounds pretty
that
cool.
is a pretty good scene. Yeah, that is a pretty good scene. Spoiler alert: Superman becomes alive again.
He fights people.
Oh.
Yeah,
the-
I know.
Surprising.
I would actually say I probably enjoyed it as much as far as like quality of it. Maybe a little worse, but kind of like Avengers 2 almost, where like it was there. They did a lot of things wrong, but it wasn't it wasn't as much of a train wreck as Batman versus Superman. That's for
Really?
sure. Yeah. I would
Better
say
than
it was
Suicide Squad, definitely, right?
better than Suicide Squad and better than Batman versus Superman.
It's not exactly a very high bar, but okay.
Yeah,
No, that's
but it's
not
an
a
important
high
bar. If it doesn't
But it's an
pass that
important
bar, it's a deal
Which
breaker.
is, well, that's kind of
is true.
why I mean, not, I don't think everyone would agree with me, but I really, to me, like I said, it was like Avengers 2 kind of feeling, where like, it was not as tight. They did a lot of things wrong, but in a way I still enjoyed myself. I think the best thing they did in this movie, though, surprisingly, were character interactions. They kind of had different of the heroes kind of group off and have their own interactions, like they had.
That's why I liked the first Avengers movie, and the second one didn't have that.
Yeah.
As much.
In this one, it did a better job with it, like the Flash and Cyborg kind of, because they're like, those are like the young kid ones, and they kind of had a bit of a bro moment. They had Batman and Wonder Woman together a lot. So
I wish they had Shazam.
I know.
Because Shazam and Cyborg have that cool interaction. Of like, Cyborg's a football player and Shazam Kid loves him as a football player.
Oh, yeah.
They should have Green Arrow in there.
Yeah. So, that part was okay. The story was like... it's hard to say because, like, even though the story of Avengers 1 is pretty, like, what? This one I still felt a bit like, what? It took me a second to kind of get it. But to be fair, I remember when I watched the first Avengers, I didn't quite get the story at first, although I blame the fact that I saw in 3D, and so I was, like, really just, what? What's going on? And so I couldn't focus.
Is the bad guy still Darkseid in Justice League?
The bad guy, why can't I not? I think it's,
It's not Darkseid.
What is his name? I don't think it is,
it's
but I'm
Superman.
wondering if that's... It's not. Now I feel dumb because I don't actually know what his name is.
Is it a super villain or is it like
a super guy or a human guy?
Like Lex Luthor type guy?
It's a super villain. It's a it's like
Steppenwolf?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, thank you. Yes, it's Steppenwolf.
His nephew is Darkseid?
Yes.
He wasn't mentioned in this movie.
It's Darkseid's uncle.
One thing about this movie is it very much was meant to be like, even though Steppenwolf is doing a lot of damage, he's not the strongest because, spoiler alert, Superman pretty much hands it to him very easily. Which is one thing that, like, if you don't like Superman, this movie you probably still won't like very much. Like I said, that scene you showed with the Flash, I thought that was a really cool scene. But again, if you really don't like Superman, I mean, they do play it straight. He is the strongest, and he probably would be able to punch things in one hit. And everyone else kind of helps out, but...
How is the editing and the transition between scenes? That was the biggest issue I had with Batman vs. Superman.
Not as bad, actually. Still not.
It wasn't
fantastic.
just like, no, Batman, Superman. It's not like that.
They made it make more sense this time.
Okay.
It especially helps that, like, the only real point of views they have to switch between are kind of the lead ups of the heroes and then kind of the group and Superman for a while and then everyone together. So I didn't find it as jarring myself.
How was the build up to the villain? Was there a build up at all?
I don't know if there was too much of a build-up. The problem is that the villain had a lot of, like, they had, like, because one thing with the Avengers 1 movie, it was pretty much just like, oh, guys, aliens are coming to Earth because Loki, right? That was basically the premise.
While
with Justice League, the premise is more like, there's this ancient evil that's been around, and now it's coming together again because of shut up. Like, there's this whole, like, they have this whole thing with, like, there's these 3 mysterious boxes, and they all are located 3 different areas. One's with the Atlanteans, one's with Wonder Woman's, the Amazonians, and one's on Earth. And, like, the whole idea is a long time ago, they all worked together to fight this evil, and now it's coming back again because shut up, kind of thing. And so, so the problem is that they made the lead up, they didn't want to copy off of Avengers and stuff like that, and I think this is based off a real story. It's just hard because the build-up was all within the movie. There was no context really with it, so it was just kind of like, it begins with Batman being like, we found this symbol from Lex Luthor, what does this symbol mean? And you're like, okay. So, hit or miss, but it worked. I mean, the final part of the movie, the big battle, is probably the best part. The part where they all come together and they battle it out, that's probably the best part of the movie, I would say. That's when it was very tight. The editing was a lot tighter. The action scenes were really cool, and all that kind of stuff. That's probably
was there like a clear-cut main character out of the 5 heroes or 6? How many?
Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman.
Oh, of
for
course.
sure.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a lot of time focused on Batman and Wonder Woman, to the point that I'm wondering if they're going to try to ship them together.
They're gonna fuck. Okay.
We'll see. Now, the part that I had some mixed feelings about, and I know a lot of other girls did, were how they kind of treated Wonder Woman, because I found this kind of
like
interesting. No, actually, the thing that Batman kind of there's at one point Batman criticizes her and she punches him in the face. It's pretty great. But
he would have been dead, right?
Yeah, I know. But he what he criticizes her for is basically the idea, and in a way, this you'd wonder about this, but Superman basically doesn't want to help him out. Basically, long story, spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah.
But Batman kind of accuses her of not stepping up to be a leader. Because she is probably the strongest out of all of them besides Superman, but Batman's the one that's kind of leading this group, and he's kind of like, why aren't you? And so he gets into her past, and it's like, it's because of, he like brings up Steven, and so that's why she gets mad at him, and so it's kind of like, okay. So I kind of went back and forth, because interesting the perspective of, why isn't Wonder Woman leading things, but also kind of
if she's
weird...
punching people in the face or criticizing her, maybe she's a bit too hot-headed.
Yeah, she does eventually, like, take, they show that she basically kind of takes the reins. Because Batman's he's competent as Batman usually is, but not super competent. In some ways... I mean,
the leader doesn't have to be the strongest puncher, right?
No,
or even the
Batman's
smartest.
always been the strategist.
No, and that's what he serves as. Because in some ways, Cyborg is better at the tech stuff than he is, but just by the virtue of who Cyborg is. Cyborg has a connect, and they don't explore
he literally has
enough.
a penis that can hack any computer ever.
Like an R2-D2 extendable, like...
Well, because Cyborg, it turns out, and this isn't that much of a story because you find that pretty early on, Cyborg has a connection with his
internet?
The technologies... with the evil bad guy technology.
Oh, right.
There's a connection with him, which they don't play with enough because they try to build
The
this up to make it think
stuff.
that he... Yeah, well, they try to play it up as like, oh, he might betray
the
everybody.
cubes, you mean?
But spoiler alert, he doesn't. Like you keep thinking that maybe it's like, but yeah. So it was okay. You don't have to pay tickets to see it in the theaters, but it was better than I expected. And everyone I went to the theater with, we all kind of went, oh, okay, wow, they did it. they got it together. So, we'll see what happens.
Thor Ragnarok though.
Yes, that one's definitely good. Without question.
Now I want to watch all his fucking movies.
You should.
Yeah.
There's also one I don't think he did, but another like New Zealand film that I quite like. It's called Eagle vs. Shark.
Eagle versus Shark?
That's what it's called. It's more like a slice of life romance. It's about a girl who like meets this guy at a costume party where you dress as your favorite animal, and so she's a shark and he's an eagle. Jermaine Clement is the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you say I like this New Zealand movie, it seems like there's Clement in it. High chance.
Well, he's
directed and written by Taika Waititi.
It is him? Okay. I mean, it definitely was his style. So I wasn't sure if it was like a New Zealand thing. Like all New Zealand directors have the same style. They're all Wes Andersons, but I don't know.
Looks cute.
If I go to theaters, though, I think I'm going to see Disaster Artist. Comes out today, last night.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention that I also saw Murder in the Orient Express? I don't think I did. No, okay. So, backing it up, I love the book. I'm not a humongous fan of Agatha Christie, but I've read a couple of her like major works, and I'm in love with them. I
like the character. Poirot, I mean.
I love And Then There Were None. I love Hercule Poirot, and Murder in the Orient Express is a great book. And Ms. Marple's great. Anyway, so my mother and I went to see the movie together because we loved this book, and we weren't, I didn't have tons of high hopes that it was going to be a faithful adaptation. But I saw who was in it, and I was super excited for that. So I went to see it, and overall, I would say they did a pretty good job. They did change some things from the book, but the main thing they changed that I actually completely understand was so you know how there was the guy who was kind of in charge of the train who's the one who made it that Poirot could get on the train, and so he wasn't a suspect. So it was kind of him and Poirot working together. So did you watch the movie?
No.
Oh, never mind.
I read the book.
Oh, okay. Then
ages
never mind.
Ago.
Okay. So for viewers who know the book, basically in the movie, there's like one character who Poirot does not suspect of the murder because he was in a different train car and he's kind of a friend of Poirot's. In the book, there's two people. There's the guy who's like head of the train company or whatever, and then there happens to be a doctor. What they did for the movie is they took away the doctor character and made it that one of the suspects is also a doctor, which actually can make it. They made it whoever it was is the guy who had served in the military, which made sense. So
was it
that
Willem
part
Dafoe?
No, it was not Willem Dafoe.
Josh Gad.
It was
There's Willem Dafoe in this movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie, and he's great.
It's got a really good cast.
It's got a very good cast. It's got Willem Dafoe. It's got not Leslie. Dang it.
Leslie Odom Jr.,
Thank you, Leslie Odom
Johnny
Jr.
Depp.
Kenneth
Johnny
Branagh,
Depp,
Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench,
Daisy,
Penelope
Josh
Cruz.
Gad. Josh Gad is the gay guy from Beauty and the Beast, right?
Pretty face, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh
He's
Gad.
Olaf.
Michelle
So-
Pfeiffer, Daisy Ridley. Oh.
Yeah.
Phil Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Josh Gad surprised me because when I saw who he was playing, I was like, okay, I said that makes sense, but it's a serious role. Like, if I were to pick a serious role for Josh Gad to play, this would probably be a part that I would consider, but I wasn't sure because I've never seen him in a serious role before. He knocked it out of the ballpark. He was quite good. I was impressed.
feel
'cause
like
he's got a
Josh-
good, it was a good role.
Josh Gad's like an American version of who's the guy who hosts The Late Show right now? Gordon something
James
Gordon?
Corden?
James Corden. Josh
James
Gad to me
Corden.
is the American James Corden.
You mean
I
just
believe
like
Because they're both
that.
looks
very
like
funny
him?
and they can do
Oh, right.
serious. And they look kind of similar,
Oh.
I guess. But I was going more just like the
you can say
roles
that.
they
All
get.
fat people look the same, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely what you meant. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
it's showing
Michelle-
now?
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe it's
Oh.
still showing now. Michelle
think so.
Pfeiffer was also amazing, and she has.
It
a
hasn't been
difficult
getting
role to
great
play.
reviews on the whole, though. the
It is
movie.
not. That's what's kind of weird is it hasn't been getting good reviews critically, but people who've seen it have enjoyed it. The direction, I think it's because of the direction and how they do it. I enjoyed it, but it is a little artsy fartsy at times with how they do it, which is probably why. Some of the critics also didn't like how Poirot was portrayed, which I also kind of had some lukewarm feelings about. And the main thing is, Poirot is in the books. I can't really explain without completely spoiling it is the problem. Let me put it this way. They tried in the movie to give Poirot a character growth moment that never existed in the books.
Yeah.
And I can understand why, for sake of a standalone movie, why they had to do that for people who've never heard of Poirot, but it was a little weird for people who know Poirot. They're like, he is not like that at all. They gave him a kind of a complex that doesn't exist in the books, and so it was like, okay. And the problem, in my opinion, is the one criticism I have is the ending. The ending is the same as the book. But which I guess is a spoiler, but anyway, but the way that they put a little too much action in it, like there's like a random gunshot thing that was not necessary, like and stuff like that. They had weird like threatening scenes that was not like a weird like dangerous
Gotta raise the
scenes
stakes.
Kinda, yeah. Like I understood they're trying to get energy up because you can only do so much like investigating in the movie.
Sure.
I get that, but like
Yeah, it is a movie, yeah.
I get that, but like it kind of bordered on a little bit senseless with how we're like. There's an ending part that's meant to be very dramatic, and the problem is that like I feel like there's a director's cut because they just kind of do it and then there's no like resolution of it. And again, I really can't explain it without spoiling it. But it was just kind of weird. But all in all, it was good. And the
That's
actors
definitely
were
the
all
biggest
amazing.
issue. Like, you read the books and then you watch the movie and it's like a different take on it.
Yeah.
It's another
And
person's
like
creative
yeah.
adaptation of it, and it's like sometimes it's different. And you like don't agree with it. That's definitely I understand.
Yeah, and so I mean, like I said, I understand for movies' sake, it is difficult, and I know they have to try to keep it up, but it's hard because it's got a huge cast of characters, and what they did, which I think this made sense, they really only focused on certain characters, and the other ones they kind of pushed the wayside and made it like they were almost kind of one-note characters, which I can understand. It's just too bad because they all are important. But what can you do? There's a lot of them. There are 11 suspects. So what are you
How long
gonna
is this
do?
movie?
It's about 2-hour movie.
Huh.
Yeah. It's just that some of the suspects get more attention than the others.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's just how they do it. But as far as like who the characters are and their interactions, that stayed pretty faithful to the book. They only changed one kind of character, which again I can't really explain without spoiling it, but which was kind of weird at first. I was like, I didn't know, I don't remember that, and then I actually read the book. I went, oh, I could see why they had to change. Again, I can't really explain it, but it was interesting. But yeah, I'd give it a shot. It's pretty. I've heard from people who weren't familiar with the story that they also enjoyed it. I think you probably would enjoy it more if you don't know the book. People who've read the book, it's fun, and I think the main thing I like about it is the actors they picked were very good, very good. So I was very happy. Willem Dafoe's amazing. Michelle Pfeiffer, oh my gosh, and she has a hard role to play, and she did fabulous. And Daisy was great. They were. And I don't know the guy who played Poirot, but yeah, I had no problem with him. They played him more like Monk. Did you guys ever watch the Monk? They play him a little bit more like Monk, which, okay. I mean, not
the
as
TV
bad.
series?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, I
did you ever watch the show, Poirot?
I did not. But I've heard good things. I know the guy who, it's a funny story. The only reason I happen to know the guy who acts in it is because there's this one company that made two of Agatha Christie's novels into video games, computer games. They were point click games that were not that great. They made one for And Then There Were None and for Murder in the Orient Express. I had already read And Then There Were None, but that's how I got into Murder in the Orient Express. I read the book first and then played the game, and that one was a little bit better. And Then There Were None was a weird game, but they got the guy who was in the original TV series, I believe, or at least he acted as Poirot to voice Poirot in the computer game. I was like, oh my gosh. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so that was gonna be stuff I did. I didn't actually really play too much stuff because things have been kind of crazy.
So
he's actually, the Poirot actor's actually in that play I mentioned last time. The Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
Still haven't watched that one yet.
He?
He plays the narrator.
That's funny.
I saw a trailer. It's not the Avengers trailer. That one's like, whatever.
Jurassic Park.
I didn't know there was a Jurassic Park trailer.
There is.
Apparently, it's very silly. I haven't seen it yet.
I saw a trailer for a Hollywood movie adapting a manga called Battle Angel Alita.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
So it's something like, it's like in the future there's cyborgs, and then this like scientist or something found this broken droid, this woman, and then rebuilds her, and then she has amnesia, and she has like cyborg arms, and she's really strong, blah blah blah. A lot of fighting and all that.
Ghost in the Shell? I'm just kidding.
So the cast, the scientist who like fixed her and cares for her is played by Christoph Waltz. There's also Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Mahershala Ali.
Is this whitewashing?
Yeah, I was about
Is
to
this
ask.
westwashing?
So I'm not gonna bring that up yet until I'm gonna bring it up first.
Yeah.
But the thing that Alita, the girl character, she is CGI, and I thought it was gonna be an animated thing, but no, everybody else is like real people in real life, right? She's animated, and she has really big eyes, and I'm like,
no.
are you seriously taking what the manga looks like and just
weird.
putting on that one character?
Either do it for everybody or nobody, right?
It doesn't work that way.
Oh my gosh.
It's an art style for everyone. Exactly. Oh my god.
It's so creepy.
Yes, it fucking is.
Wow.
I'm not sure if this is one of those like, oh, I'm so clever, artsy fartsy, I'm doing this because she's not exactly human, blah blah blah, but fuck you. This is so creepy.
That's so weird. I don't like
And the thing
it
is,
at all.
Oh man, the uncanny valley is through the roof, and like,
Yeah, it is.
and the CGI,
Through
the
the floor.
animation isn't exactly the best.
Yeah.
And when mixed in with the real people, like there's a scene where Christoph Waltz wipes her tears, and it's just, there's nothing there, bro. There's nothing there.
Guys, come on. Why can't, like,
Reaching
they
for the
really
stars.
just can't do this right. Oh
why
my
did
gosh.
Why did they take manga art style and put it on one character
That makes no sense.
with 3D CGI and making it look fucking ridiculous? It's really
so-
creepy. Some horror
It's
shit.
so weird. Okay, guys, like, come on.
At first, I thought it was like, in the manga she has like really big eyes or some shit compared to the other characters. No, it's just
she
manga
doesn't.
eyes. It's just Japanese art style eyes.
Yeah, I'm seeing a couple of like manga pages. I'm just like, no, everyone's got the same style.
It looks like normal anime, right?
Yeah, it
But
does.
no, not for the
gotta be
movie.
Special. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
guys,
God.
why? All right, cool.
If you want to be like, if you want to be disgusted, go and watch the
trailer.
produced by James Cameron.
Are you freaking kidding me? Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, that explains a lot, guys.
That's how you get names involved.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Also,
that explains
also John
everything.
Landau, which is somebody he's worked with on Titanic, Solaris, Avatar,
Okay.
Avatar 2, blah blah blah. Yeah.
All right, well, that answered all
I'm
my
tempted
questions.
just to watch it for Christoph Waltz, but I probably won't.
Yeah.
This can't be that hard. Like,
Is it worse than whitewashing?
It's less
it's a
offensive.
different kind of bad.
Less offensive.
But yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's less. Yeah, it's bad. I guess technically less
it's
offensive.
Is,
but
worse.
still
is it bad on a moral standpoint?
No.
No, I wouldn't say it's bad on a moral
I don't think
standpoint.
so.
It's just bad on a what the heck are you thinking kind of standpoint. I would say. I don't know. I guess. Well, it's just weird. I wouldn't call. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because it's like it's taken off the manga and the eyes, but at the same time it's not because it's just choosing that character to do it with.
The guy that is directing this has directed since the two Sin City movies, Spy Kids, Machete Kills, and a bunch of other
It's
stuff.
so weird that one guy did both of those things.
You mean
Yeah.
Spy Kids and
Spy
then
Kids.
Machete?
And no, Spy Kids and Sin City. I knew Spy
Yeah.
Kids and
Yeah.
Machete was the same guy. I didn't know Sin City.
Robert Rodriguez.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really weird.
All right, that's bad.
Oh,
That's a thing.
And you did not even mention Aquaman. How can you not mention Aquaman at all?
Gosh, I don't know how I could have mentioned.
He's
I'm
like the
sorry.
sexiest one there.
He definitely was.
Did he
I mean,
get any screen time?
He got some screen time, not tons of screen time. He was very much the
How
comic
much of his
relief.
screen time was
He's
like
the
just him
comic
CGI'd
relief?
underwater?
I mean, the shirtless scenes not enough, but decent, I guess.
How is Flash not the comic relief? How is Aquaman the comic relief?
They were both kind of the comic relief. Actually.
Really?
Batman was kind of comic
feel like-
relief too. It was
Oh.
weird. It was a little strange. But it wasn't like Batman and Flash had some banter and it worked. It wasn't because they weren't. I'm not saying they were trying to go for this, but it was trying to be, I think, reminiscent of like Spider-Man and Tony. But there's more with them. I mean, there's a line at one point that Flash goes, "What's your superpower?" And he just goes, "I'm rich," which is kind of funny. I think that was in the previews. But like, yeah, well, Aquaman, I wouldn't say he was the comic relief. He was just kind of the how do I describe
He's just
it?
there to be pretty.
No, he was there. He was there to definitely be like, okay, when do we smash some shit, kind of
He's
thing.
like the
He was
Hulk of
almost
the
the
team,
Hulk
right?
Thor. He's like the Hulk Thor kind of character, I would say.
My
Which,
favorite
again-
Aquaman is from The Brave and the Bold when he's voiced by John DiMaggio. He's like, "What ho! That reminds me of a tale of the time I fought the sea beast." He's
Yeah.
totally Thor the whole time.
Yeah. So that's kind of what he was more like, which it worked. The only thing I
Okay.
would say, like, I don't think I needed necessarily a full movie for Cyborg and Flash before this. I kind of felt like I needed an Aquaman movie before this, just because there was some. They changed his backstory, and it seems interesting, but like,
I don't even know what I think his backstory is.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what I think his backstory is. He was born underwater and he became the king. The end.
I mean, I can tell you what it is because it's actually not even that.
I heard there was a rumor that they were setting up like Aquaman and Wonder Woman to be Kryptonians.
That
Like
would be
dropping
very
little
strange.
clues, but I don't know.
I guess maybe for Aquaman that seems very weird for Wonder Woman. The only reason,
Yes.
I mean, for Aquaman, he's not a king or a prince at all.
Oh,
He's
just a man.
Yes and no. Okay,
what a
that's actually-
man.
He's more like an exiled prince.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he was a prince.
Who's the king?
Well, that's kind of the thing that I'm not really certain on. That's what's kind of confusing. Because Mara, who is the person that's like his wife usually?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
It starts with an M, I think. She's there, but they're very
Mermaid.
antagonistic with each other.
Mm.
They're not married.
Oh, catty.
And he is, I think, related to the king, but the king... It's a little confusing because you don't see many Atlanteans.
King
like,
Neptune.
at all. Because very much part of Aquaman's story is he doesn't really like to spend tons of time in Atlantia. He spends a lot of time in this like old fishing village, and he helps them out a lot, kind of thing, which is what you see in the previews. He just
Did the
he
movie
helps them.
take itself too seriously?
I think that's why the second part was better, because it really didn't at that point. The first
Just
part,
action.
yeah, it was just action. First part, maybe a little bit at times. Not a ton. Batman really didn't as much this time. I think that's what helped. Batman did not take himself as seriously as he did in Batman versus Superman. He was a little bit they did a little bit better on that.
Okay.
So, because he was at times funny. It was a little weird. But it at times it worked. At times it worked.
Like Batman style funny, not like.
Oh yeah, it was very
right?
dry humor. It was very dry, you know.
Not
straight,
like bat parademon repellent spray, or like
yeah, no,
bat credit
like
card.
that line that I mentioned is the best way to explain it. Flash asking him like, what's your superpower, and he just looks at him, and just goes, "I'm rich," just flat. That's kind of his humor throughout the whole thing, and it works. It works. It's just very dry humor. Yeah, I forgot to mention Aquaman. Yeah, he definitely is just kind of there, although his backstory, again, I'm kind of interested to know. I'm going to probably watch the Aquaman movie because I know it's going to be like the first
Is there gonna
movie.
be an Aquaman movie?
Aquaman movie? Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yep, there is, unless they cancel
I'll probably watch
I
that.
hope it's Black Mamba or Black Manta. I mean, not Mamba.
it. Yeah, Black Mamba. Yeah,
It's a
I
snake.
mean, I don't
I'm pretty sure
know.
it's a real snake.
Yeah.
Black
I mean,
Mamba.
I imagine that, like, it's going to be... I'm hoping that the Aquaman movie is like the first Thor movie, which is like, it was fun, it was not the best movie, but the shirtless scenes were made it all worth it.
I wish.
Fish out of
I wish the
water.
Aquaman movie is gonna be like Thor Ragnarok. Just go for it. Just fucking go for it.
Oh, jeez, that
DC
would be
can't pull
great.
that
Just
off.
skip origin story. Just skip it.
Just I don't think they're gonna do an origin story now, so that's at least something. Because I mean, it's
They
gonna
did with
take
Wonder
place
Woman,
after
though.
this. They did for Wonder Woman, but to be fair,
That was the worst part of the whole movie.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I mean, to be fair, they got set in World War I, which was interesting. But also
Yeah.
because all of this stuff is set
I
after
like
the
that part.
Justice League movie, it can't be a
Oh, is it after?
origin story.
It could be
I'm
a
pretty sure, yeah.
prequel. But yeah, you're right.
It could. I don't think they will do that. I guess we'll see. I assume they wouldn't, but we'll see what happens. The main thing I have against the DC movies, and they do it every single time, and it drives me nuts. They are so desaturated. The colors. It's so like gray and full
Brown.
of no colors.
It's Call
like,
of Duty.
Oh, I hate it. Like they keep doing this like faux dark grittiness, and I know that's like a thing, but like I hate it.
Is it a
Every
Snyder
single
thing?
movie. I think it might be a Snyder thing. They do it every single movie, and it drives me nuts. It's like, okay, I get it. I just feel sad looking at this. Like, that's one of the reasons that the Aquaman movies, the main thing I'm worried about is it's very foggy. Like, all the stuff he was in when they were in his kind of like the fishing village he helps out was so dark and gray and green. And like, yeah, that's realistic, but it's not fun to look at.
Whenever I think of Marvel, I think colorful, and whenever I think of DC, I think dark.
Absolutely. Marvel in some ways is almost oversaturated at times.
Yeah,
It
that's
works.
true.
It works. I mean,
Like, have you seen the
it
new picture
depends.
of purple guy, big bad guy?
yeah, Thanos. Yeah.
Oh god. Oh man, it's
Yeah.
terrible looking.
No, it's
So goofy.
It's so
Yeah.
goofy. But
What's
yeah,
his name
like,
again?
Thanos.
Thanos?
Is what she,
Thanos.
you're
The
right.
actor.
Oh, they
jeez.
recast him. I thought
Josh
It
Brolin,
was
right?
Josh Brolin. Yeah.
It
I
was
don't
Josh
know if it
Brolin.
still is.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, it still is.
But yeah, I mean, so like Marvel's like oversaturated and DC is undersaturated. But I have to be honest, I kind of prefer the oversaturated at this point, just because at least I feel like I'm enjoying myself. Because when it's too desaturated, I'm just kind of like, what's a what now? Like I feel like I can't laugh half the time because it's so dark and gloomy.
Oh yeah, and yeah, the Aquaman movie is gonna be after Justice League, and there will be Black Manta.
Hooray!
Yeah.
The only
thought you said-
Aquaman villain anybody knows the name of.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct, because I don't know any others. And the only reason I even know of Black Manta is because of Young Justice. But in Young Justice, they actually made Aqualad super cool, so it's okay.
I think it is a Snyder thing. He did Dawn of the Dead, he did 300, Sucker Punch, Watchmen, Man of Steel. It's
worked for Watchmen.
Did he do Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow?
No.
That one was a little saturated.
Yeah, I guess it's just his style. It's just, I don't know.
He did Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Oh, I did see that. I remember
forgot
almost nothing about it. It was
Is it good?
super forgettable.
He did that movie? That's so
Yeah,
weird.
he's the director in that movie. There's Helen Mirren, Jeffrey Rush, and Hugo Weaving in this movie.
They're all voice actors.
Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was based off of a book series, was I never read it.
I believe so. I
had a friend who was a huge fan of it.
Don't know why I saw it.
I don't know if you watched it though. I never watched it because I don't know of it. The only reason I recognized it, I was like, oh, I think my friend is a huge fan of this series.
The Owl movie.
Yeah, the Owl movie, basically. But anyway.
Yeah. You know what I want a remake of? The Secret of Nim. That'd be crazy. Like a live action, gritty reboot.
Gritty reboot. Oh, jeez.
I played Shadow of War.
What'd you think?
So there's this you know, one of those like things. Hey, accept this so that we can give you your online features, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I kept like not accepting it because I really don't care about the online. I just want to kill some orcs, dominate some orcs and shit.
Right.
Keeps asking me though, twice.
Yeah.
Every time I get into the game, every time I leave the game. Fucking hell. But I am about 12 hours in-ish, and I just unlocked the ability to dominate orcs. Yeah, you gotta play like, I don't know. If you did it faster than me, probably 7 hours before you can dominate orcs. It took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just playing through the story. At first, it felt clunkier than the first game for some reason to me. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it's not as acrobatic as the Batman games.
Oh, yeah. And
because the Batman games, he vaults
Yeah.
really high up, right?
Yeah.
Very acrobatic, very fast.
Yeah.
And this
It's
one they
very
tried to
forgiving for training combos. Like when I'm punching, you just kind of dash like 30 meters and punch a guy.
Yeah, and this one feels, I guess, more realistic. It's like less acrobatic. It's like the vaulting, so it kind of felt clunky, but I'm kind of getting used to it. It's just more Shadow Mordor, basically, which is not exactly a bad thing. It's just the loot boxes is bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. It has RPG elements. Well, I mean, you can level up and get skill points, and there's also loot now. You kill certain orcs and you get like equipment, like you can
Gear.
change.
That's cool.
It is cool, but I really hate it when games do that. When it's like, oh, this sword is this really special sword, and then you go and kill like this fucking level 2 bastard, and you get another sword that's better than your almighty sword. That doesn't make fucking sense.
I make that joke like every time I go back to play WoW, because it's like new expansion, new zone, there's new trash mobs. Like, holy crap, these caterpillars are stronger than the strongest boss back in vanilla WoW. Because like that's a scale with you, you know. You're like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a lot of systems that like trying to get you to use loot boxes. I guess I've never reached that point yet, but I think they say the last chapter is the worst one. It's very grindy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard too. My brother's my brother's almost done with it, and that's kind of how he feels. Like I think he said that he pretty much has the end of the game, but if he wants to get like the best ending, he has to keep going.
Yeah, I remember reading something like that. Yeah, best ending.
So he kind of was like, I think I'm done with it right now. And that's kind of because how he kind of felt. He's like, okay, whatever, you know, maybe I'll watch the best ending online, kind of thing.
You can dominate orcs and you can like assault places and stuff, but I feel like it's a bit too big of a scope because you're gonna be just doing the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah. Have you had to deal with the orcs battling each other yet?
No,
like
one-on-one. I do know they have permadeath.
So there's a part where basically to try to get your orcs that you dominated to get higher up the ranks, you'll basically be able to. Yeah, send them to like pit fights. And the problem is that like you basically it is a horrible idea. They have it basically where you've got like your orc versus another random orc, and they have like a 2-minute timer, and it never goes down to 2 minutes. It usually only takes 30 seconds, but like it's just 30 seconds of this simulated battle, and because it's just two enemies,
You
it's
have to
like
watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch it, and it's
passive.
It's very passive, and and the problem is that like because it's just two orcs fighting each other, it's not super well balanced, and so like, you know, even though your guy may be 10 times stronger, if the other you'll win, your guy will always win if he's super high level, but if the other guy's faster, you have to deal with your orc always constantly like, okay, on my feet, getting back up again, on my feet, like if they're faster, and then like they wall up and then they win. Like it never happens where, you know, they lose because of that, but
they
it's
introduce a lot of systems
to
like
so
find ways to get you to buy shit.
There are ways to skip it. That doesn't have to deal with loot boxing. It's some time management thing. It's not a money thing. It's a time management thing. But I don't know.
But you
how
can
it
get
works.
like stronger orcs with loot boxes and stuff, right? Something
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
there's that. No, I just mean there are ways to like skip over having to watch it. But like
Right.
it's an in-game timer thing. I don't quite understand how it works. But yeah, so that's I don't know. That I just remember every time I was like, oh, here we go again, a simulated battle.
Yeah. Before we get to Foe, because I do want to talk about that thing that you did. There's a new Batman Ninja anime, which is
Yes.
Yes.
but it's CGI. It's CG.
Yes,
It's
it
weird.
looks like the new Berserk.
I hate CG.
Like I don't like
know.
the CGI, but I do really like the character concept.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
just the way
look
every-
I
so
don't know
way
why it's
everything
called
looks.
Batman Ninja, but he wears samurai armor.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for him to like become a fucking ninja. Nope.
Whoever they got
Samurai
to
armor
voice
on a
the
horse.
Joker is really good too.
Super good. Batman. I know. I saw that preview today. I was like,
Got that laugh.
I love the
They
aesthetic.
just
I think
throw
that's-
all these names like so and so from Kill La Kill and Gurren Lagann, so and so from Afro Samurai, so and so. Like all these animes are amazing. Like
I know. Like, oh my gosh. They literally got all the big wigs.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Looks so
And I
good.
played a shmup.
I like
It's
Gorilla
called Drifting
Grodd or something.
Lands. It's
Drifting
like as
Lands.
RPG. It doesn't really matter. So, Foe, you played Nier Automata,
I've only played the first level so far. Still,
and you liked it, didn't you?
yeah, felt real
You
good.
like it, Squidward, didn't you?
It's so
Yeah.
many different games. It starts off like a shmup, then switches to a twin stick shooter, and then switches to like a third person
side-scrolling
platformer,
thing.
and
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
more like a bullet hell beat 'em up. I don't know, man. It's,
And the camera, they
crazy.
move very seamlessly, right?
yeah.
Feels very smooth.
And then it's so cinematic, like
Yeah.
like the finishing move on the boss is just like it's almost just like a cutscene, but it's
Yeah,
not
but it's
literally
not.
a cutscene. It just feels
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it feels like a cutscene, but you have control over it, and it's
Yeah.
not a
That's cool.
it's not the what you call that quick time event.
Pre-rendered.
But not
yeah,
all.
it's not cute.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool. That's cool.
I wonder
Yeah.
what would happen if I didn't do anything though. If I just didn't hit any buttons during those kind of moments.
I think you just get
give me
hit, and
okay.
then you
And
got
it
to
stops
redo
running.
Eventually
it.
get a game over state.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious
Basically-
to get to a point where I make like a inherent choice I didn't realize, like, oh, I shouldn't have killed that person. And then
Okay, so
the game
basically-
does something.
When it comes to the endings, just keep playing. That's my advice. Just keep playing.
Sure.
You will, because to get the 5 endings, you don't have to do anything differently, but you just have to keep playing.
Okay.
Yeah. The other non-main endings, the other 21 endings, are the ones where like, oh, you're supposed to go here. Let's go here instead.
Sure,
and then it's
sure.
like a game over state kind of ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still haven't figured out the story yet because like the last thing that happens is like the final boss. It looks like you die, and then you're in space on a station, and it's like, well, I gotta stop recording now. We'll figure this out later.
Yeah.
What's going on?
But is it
Yeah, that was
compelling you
cool.
to keep playing?
Definitely. Did you
Yeah.
watch that thing I mentioned 2 weeks ago? The that random like druid
No.
like
I haven't.
okay, because there's certain visual aspects of that bad movie that remind me of this game, like just the way like the flight suits, like that they wear and fly around are kind of similar. But it's cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing more. I was gonna play more today, but my graphics card crapped out, so I spent all day
yeah.
figuring out what the problem was. So weirdly enough, the problem was I turned on my computer, my monitors both say no signal. So I'm like, oh crap, what's the problem? Like reboot a few times, no luck. Try different monitors, no luck. I actually have, I don't have a spare graphics card, but I have a spare motherboard. So I unplug everything from my computer, swap out the motherboard, put the graphics card back into it. This motherboard has an on-chip graphics card as well. So I plug one monitor into the MOBO port and one monitor into the graphics card port, and the MOBO one comes up fine. Yeah. So I went to Best Buy and got a GTX 780. So
1080?
It's not 780. I considered getting the 1080. I considered getting the 1080, but I'm like, I don't need a 1080, and it's
you
like
could have got the
double the cost.
1060. That's pretty good.
780 is pretty good. Or wait, what did I get? Am I wrong? No, sorry. 780 is what I had and died. What I got was...
Fucking Titan, right?
Yeah, I got a Titan. Oh, yeah, I got a 1070 Ti.
That's like, okay, that's way different. That's not a 780.
Nope,
Nice.
it is not. The old one was a 780. It's only like 4 years old. I don't know why it crapped out the way it did, but I'm not like super upset because it was more or
you
less
get to
due
play
for
on like
something
500
new
frames per second, all those free indie games.
Yeah. I can play my visual novels at 1080.
The animations are flawless. What animations? I don't know.
You need to get like bigger games, man. Witcher 3 and shit. That 1070.
I do want to play The Witcher 3. How long is Nier Automata? Is it like a 60-hour game?
Yeah, 50.
Okay. Because
So
I'm
it's not
recording
super
it for
long.
my channel, but I may...
Yeah, and you're doing like 20-minute episodes. I'm like, this is gonna be a lot of episodes.
That might not be a bad thing. We'll see. I mean, so far...
Maybe do longer ones. 30
the people on my channel who regularly comment are loving it, so I'll keep doing it as long as they're interested, I guess.
Yeah, true enough.
You're gonna love it. Like, there's a lot of themes, and the music's amazing, and it's cinematic, and yeah. Have you had any issues with the PC version?
Not
Did you
yet. I mean,
install
I've only
the
played it
port
for
or
those
anything?
40 minutes or so, so I haven't hit any issues yet.
And you played it on the 780, right?
Yes. Although I did have a weird issue unrelated to the game, where for some reason my PC was not recognizing my PS4 controller, so I'm playing it with an Xbone controller, which I don't prefer, but it's not. I don't hate it.
How are you
either.
getting the PS4 controller to work again?
I mean, it just plugs in. It's got a USB to whatever you call.
And what does
USB
it
read.
recognize it as?
Oh, really?
It recognizes a PS4 controller. Like this little thing back
wow.
here goes
So
to
when
USB.
the game turns on, it thinks it's a PS4 controller?
I mean,
It's probably like
I don't
Xbox
know
One
how it
button
normally
prompts,
works.
right?
I don't remember. I mean, like, I just... the button prompts, I don't know. I can't think of the last time I used it. Like, if I play Rocket League with it, I believe it gives me the right button prompts.
Is it certain games only, or like any game on Steam?
Occasionally there's games that don't
Don't work?
recognize the PS4 controller that
Because
way.
I way prefer the PS4 controller. Like, seriously. I really
I-
hate the Xbox controller.
I
I've
don't
gotten
way
very
prefer it, but I definitely do.
I've gotten very much used to the Xbox, even though I usually prefer PS4, but I just use an Xbox controller for everything now because it's so easy plug and play.
It's
Yeah.
fat. And the buttons are so plasticky.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I
got
just
used
realized
to it.
the PS4 shoulder buttons are what sell it for me. Like the triggers and shoulder buttons are so smooth.
Yeah. It's true. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I guess I've just gotten used to it, so now it's just kind of at this point. But
Yeah, I mean,
what
I
else
don't
did
hate
you-
the Xbone controller.
Yeah.
I also,
What did you play?
in parallel with Nier Automata, I'm doing a visual novel called Wander No More. It's free on Steam, and there's no choices. It's just completely linear
Linear?
novel.
oh, kinetic novel. Okay.
It's a kinetic novel. Although it's not very kinetic. Like, there's not much animation at all.
Kinetic novel, it's such a misnomer. I think it's just because the word visual novel was taken, so they needed something else. I don't know why
see.
it's called a kinetic novel, and so they just use the word kinetic novel, even though it's very misleading. Kinetic novel literally just means there's no, I think
Choices.
it actually means, well, no, I don't think it means no choices. I think it actually just means no alternate endings, because that's why could be argued that certain Phoenix Wright games are kinetic novels. Which, like, they have bad endings, but, like, it's not the same as, like, a different ending, you know?
Yeah, it's not an ending. It's just a game over
yeah.
state.
Exactly. So that's why you could
You
argue
don't really have
that.
choices in things, right? Though.
Well, technically you have choices, as in you have to pick the right choice. You know what I mean?
But that's just to move the game along.
But exactly. That's what I mean, though.
That doesn't count.
No, I'm just saying that, like, that's what I mean, though. It's like it's their choices to move along, but there's still that kind of interactivity. While there are certain kinetic novels where you're literally just reading. You know what I mean?
So you're saying like kinetic vision. Is it kinetic vision novels or kinetic novels?
Kinetic novels.
Just kinetic novels.
Yeah.
So you're saying like there's game over states.
I think it depends
I haven't
on
hit
who
any in
you
this
talk
one
to.
yet.
Do you think you can?
No,
No.
not in this particular one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I like the art style.
Interesting. For a free game, it has voice acting, which is weird. So
Whoa.
I was able to turn it off, though,
Wow.
because otherwise I have no fun listening to people talk slowly. Then I can
I like the
read
art
too
style. Art style
rapidly
looks
in a
really
stupid
cool. The
voice.
characters.
Yeah, I like the characters a lot. Or the way they look. There's only two. Like, there's all these other characters, and they never actually render them because, they didn't want to draw them.
Yeah, budget.
At least so far, as I've gotten. Also, like, bad thing on my channel, I've been missing a lot of uploads. Today I missed an upload because the stupid graphics card crapped out, but like last week I missed like 3 uploads or something because instead of playing and recording, I've been playing this game called the Eternal Card Game, which is kind of like Hearthstone, but it's more like Magic the Gathering than Hearthstone, which is why I like it a little better. And it also has a more... It's either a nicer, more convenient way to collect cards, or a more sinister way to give you a taste of the sugar to get you to buy more cards. But either way, I'm having fun playing that instead of actually doing...
Is it a new company or something?
I don't know how long the game has been out. I hadn't heard about it until a month or 2 ago, and then I finally started playing it. I'm like, okay, this is actually...
Early access came out last year.
I actually spent money on it because, partly, this is the first time I've ever actually spent money on a game because I wanted to support the developers. Usually, it's for completely selfless reasons.
You want to get stuff.
I also wanted to get the campaigns, which you can buy with in-game currency. You don't have to buy them with dollars, but it's a lot of in-game currency. Which I have the in-game currency, but I was like, I could save it for other things. The next campaign, for example. And then the last thing I did this week was Destiny 2 has their first DLC come out on Tuesday, The Curse of Osiris. So sort of. Half came out this week. The other half comes out next week. But the half that came out this week was more like story campaign. The half that comes out next week is kind of like a new game type. It's like more than a regular dungeon, but less than a raid. Which should be cool, because it's endgame content that hopefully won't take 4 to 6 hours. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming as part of that. I'm really liking it. I'm definitely going to play more to try and get more aesthetic things. They finally released an aesthetic thing that made me want to buy a Bright Engram thing, which I'm not going to do because it's a complete gamble and waste of money. But they had the skin for your like land speeder type thing that has like angry teeth and eyes on it, like a World War II like bomber. And I'm a huge sucker for that look. So it's like, oh, I really want that, but there's no way I'm going to get it. I think that's pretty much me.
Get into some news since you brought up
Sure.
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So that Curse of Osiris DLC, it locks certain content that was actually available to people.
So what happened
What was
is they changed the power levels on certain things. So like your power
Was
levels
this
determine...
about that issue where people found some algorithm?
No.
force you
So
to-
you're talking about so I think that the old news story was the algorithm, which basically kind of hides your reduced rate of experience gain.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And then they fixed
experience-
that, but they increased everything, right?
Yeah, but experience is completely unrelated to power level.
Okay.
So early game you're getting experience to get skill points, but that happens pretty quickly. The main point now to getting experience is every time you overlevel, you get 1 Bright Engram box, which is a loot box of cosmetic stuff. Although I didn't actually follow up on this, but I heard from a trustworthy source that they recently added actual gear drops to Bright Engram boxes, potentially. Because I've opened like 3 this week that I get from overleveling, and I didn't get any weapons. But if they did add exotic weapons to these boxes, then that is 100% like pay to not win per se, but get an advantage.
So what they did
pay to win.
was certain things has increased level requirements, and the Curse of
Yes.
Osiris one increases the level cap.
Yes. Sorry.
So it
it
technically
increases,
locks people
It
out.
increases your level, which is meaningless, but it also increases like
Power
the
level.
power of items you can acquire, the power level of items. So which is what they measure.
Okay.
It's like an
Still shit,
average
though,
of
but
your
okay.
gear. Yeah, it's kind of sucky.
Dying Light is getting a battle royale PvP mode. Okay.
That sounds weird. I mean, PvP for that game seems interesting. I don't think I like it.
And
Maybe with the go-karts.
this was like a week or 2 weeks ago, but basically EA's reasoning to having loot boxes is so that it doesn't go against the canon of Star Wars or some shit.
Oh.
Wait, what?
So
Yeah.
the game's perfectly canonical, is it? Not one single
So-
thing is wrong with the game?
What?
EA on
Bullshit.
cosmetic game items. You probably don't want Darth Vader in pink. I actually kind of want Darth Vader in pink.
I absolutely
say.
want Hello Kitty Darth Vader.
Why
So the
wouldn't I
reason
want
why they don't let you buy cosmetic game items instead of like needing to buy them from loot boxes or whatever is because canon. They don't want to violate the canon.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
They really just gotta shut up.
Yeah, they really should just need to shut their mouths. It's amazing the creative reasonings that video game companies will give for things. That has
It's
to be
more
the most-
amazing that they think they're worth like voicing. Like,
I know. Like
this might work. It's like, why do you think that?
really? Wow, that's amazing. All right.
I love this comment. We are terribly concerned with maintaining canon, which is why you can pay to unlock Luke Skywalker and use him to fight alongside an army of Trade Federation droids. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
that's EA being EA. They did
But
something.
to be fair, Star Wars
They
came
did
with
something
complete
even
scrutiny.
worse for another game, which is smaller than Battlefront 2, so it didn't get the same amount of So it's about EA Sports UFC 3, and literally everything in that game has microtransactions in it, and you can pay to win. So like literally everything about the character, like you're getting skill points and stuff, you can literally pay to win, and then you'll win every single time against somebody that doesn't pay. So
Right.
that's okay. I just wanted to mention it. One more thing, just to mention it. Humble Bundle's January bundle, which you can buy in December. Wait, is it the December bundle? Whatever. So the one that's currently being offered, the early unlocks for $12 is The Long Dark, Quantum Break, and Dawn of War 3 for $12.
That's a new game, right? Dawn of War
Yeah,
3
it's
came out not
very
that long
new.
ago.
It has like mixed reviews because it's not like the old Dawn of War. But
I
I'm
actually
probably
liked
gonna
Dawn of
get
War
it
2.
because
Didn't like the
I want the
campaign.
Quantum Break and I want the Dawn of War 3. I was like, $12 is not too bad.
I don't know what Quantum Break is. The name sounds familiar.
Quantum
That
Break
name's
is
super familiar.
that action adventure game where the character can manipulate time, and it ties in with a TV show and is made by Remedy.
Oh, right.
Was it Remedy?
Oh, okay.
Remedy, the
Sounds
people who made Max Payne.
Looking at it now, Remedy.
Time manipulation, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be an Xbox One exclusive for a while, and then
Yes,
it went on
yes,
Windows,
yes.
and then now it's now on Steam.
Never played it, but sounds familiar. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Very
get
good
it.
reviews on
I mean,
Steam.
$12 for Quantum Break and Dawn of War 3 is pretty good price if you want both those games, and you get also the Long Dark with survival thing.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna get that. Not much this week. Do you guys have anything? If not, we can go to the big one, I guess.
I just have one. We don't need to talk about it. I have to say this. You guys may have heard about this, but Ryan Reynolds is now playing Pikachu in a live-action Pokemon movie.
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. I don't
He's
know
not
what
Danny
world we
DeVito.
live in.
That's a pretty good alternate.
Yeah. I don't know what world we live in, but I am very excited. I don't know anything about Detective Pikachu, but
Yeah, because it's a game that never left Japan.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just.
Do you
I'm
think they're
laughing
using
when-
this movie and then they might release it outside of Japan?
They have to, right?
They have to, right?
Yeah, but
No,
I
the thing
just-
is, it's a Pokemon game. It will sell.
it will sell. I don't know. I just when I first saw the headline, I thought it was a joke, and then
I
I
thought
saw
it
a
was a
picture
joke.
of him at Comic-Con, and I went, "Oh, it's not." So anyway, that's all y'all need to know. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right.
Ryan
what's
Reynolds
our-
is Detective Pikachu.
I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
this bundle.
Okay. You wanna bring up anything, Fo?
Nothing's ringing a bell. Did we talk about Punisher 2 last time? We did already, right?
Punisher 2? You
Sorry,
mean
1.
the
Punisher,
Netflix
the
one?
show, the Netflix show, not 2.
I guess, yeah.
Did we talk about it already though?
I think so. Why, is there something
Okay.
about it?
I mean, it's actually okay. It's probably the third best Marvel show yet, after Daredevil 1
And
and
Jessica
Jessica Jones. Yeah,
Mm.
but it's still not great. I think it's just it takes a long time to tell a story. Like, it adds like some side stuff, and it tries to like humanize Frank a lot more. And there's just really not a lot of punishing, especially like not in the first 9 episodes. Like, they could have like made it a 9-episode season, and I think they would have been a little better.
Mm.
I don't know. So I mean, if you like Punisher, or you just want to watch the Marvel stuff, it's better than Iron Fist by a long shot.
Yeah. So as much as
So I enjoyed it well enough, but I wouldn't say you
Iron
have
Fist,
to see
what's the character's actor's name?
I have no idea.
Iron Fist actor.
would rather forget, I think is his name.
Oh, it's Finn Jones. I don't know, I'm thinking about someone else. No, I was thinking about, because I saw this news article about a Hollywood actor guy, sexually assaulted, raped or something. And it kind of looked like him. I was like, wait, is that him? No, it's not.
Great.
But yeah, Bryan Singer is accused of raping a 17-year-old boy.
Yes, I did hear about that.
I don't know who that is.
Bryan Singer is the director that did all the X-Men stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess the big one that we gotta bring up is the Game Awards.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
was a
heard
thing.
about that. I didn't follow up on it though.
I mean, I only know that Breath of the Wild won.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a fine thing to win. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
it's that. Yeah, I don't really have anything
But
against
with
it,
the
to be
Game
honest.
Awards, you know how they, have world premieres and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the night that the game industry just wanks off each other, basically.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
Sounds
Bayonetta
right.
3 is going to be an exclusive.
Yes.
To
On
the
the Switch?
Wii or the Switch, yeah.
Yes, I did hear about that. So.
I was actually considering getting a Switch already. So
Actually,
now I'm really considering it.
My
there's
brother's
a lot of
getting
good
it,
shit.
so-
Yeah. Bayonetta
Yeah, my
1 and
brother's
2
getting
is going to be re-released.
Yes.
And then
Okay,
3 is
that's
going to
cool.
be there.
There's enough
Breath of the
indie games on the
Wild,
Switch
Mario.
that it has my interest.
What?
Yeah.
There's enough
There's
games.
enough indie games.
Hmm.
Like,
They
I
have
really want to
Stardew
get Battle
Valley.
Chasers.
They have Golf Story.
Stardew Valley is a huge one I want to get to.
Golf Story is also pretty.
I don't know that one.
It's a golf RPG that's gotten quite a lot of praise, but it's a Switch exclusive. It's fucking annoying. So yeah, Bayonetta, fuck you, Nintendo. Well, I guess nobody would. I guess it would have been made or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
From Software teased the new game. I think it's gonna be like Bloodborne something or something Souls or something. I don't think they'll be doing anything different.
Blood Souls.
Darkest Souls. Midnight Souls.
It's literally just like they showed something. It didn't really show much.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6. First one in like a
Oh,
few
wow.
years. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's been a while. That's been a minute.
I don't know
Do you
how long
guys
it's been going on, but Hellboy showed up in Injustice 2, and I'm loving it. I've been watching a lot of Injustice footage because it's Hellboy. It's fun
There's
to watch
Hellboy
him.
in it?
Yeah, it's really fun to watch him fight supervillains and Batman and
Is he
whatever.
like a DLC character?
He
I'm
must
guessing
be.
so. Yeah. Because he's not DC, right? He's like what, Dark Horse something?
Dark Horse, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Ninja Turtles are in Injustice.
Do you guys remember the game A Way
I think.
Out?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if I played
The
it.
game where you use two brothers or something to escape the prison, and it's like forced co-op. It's
Yes.
made by the guy who made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the Tale of Two Sons. I didn't know there was a second one or
yeah.
a second spiritual one.
Yeah, so it's like blah, 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 blah. It premiered, I think, in the last Game Awards, and then so the guy who is the creative director or whatever, the creator, was like making a speech, and he kept going on about fuck the Oscars, and I couldn't watch the whole thing because I thought it's very cringy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, the whole fucking Game Awards is cringy as shit. I do not know how people watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do.
The Firewatch people announced a new game.
Really?
Waterwatch.
It's called In the Valley of the Gods, and it looks really cool.
Is
I
it
mean,
another walking
I
simulator?
That name's
think so.
familiar.
Looks
Okay.
like it. You play.
I'm thinking Pray to the Gods.
So there's like two women, and I think they're going through like tombs and stuff, exploring and all that, and you play as one of the women. So I'm not sure if there's gonna be like a dynamic of like, you know, the
An
help
actual
system
other
or
person
whatever.
you see who's not just a voice.
Wow.
Groundbreaking.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might actually get it because Firewatch, the main reason I didn't buy is because I watched a Let's Play of it and I was like, oh, okay. You know, and I didn't regret watching the Let's Play because it was hilarious, but maybe I'll actually try it out now. It's like, oh, okay. They had this game and it looks pretty cool. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on cost, I think.
It actually looks really nice. Like
Cool.
the art style
I mean,
and stuff, the character.
Is
and
it
stuff.
kind of, is it similar as Firewatch?
color scheme a
stylistically?
bit?
Okay.
Color scheme a bit. Stylistically, do you actually see another person in Firewatch?
Technically yes.
Oh.
Not really up close.
The character
You've
looks
seen
nice. It's a really
animated
nice looking
things.
game aesthetically. The art style.
What's it called?
In the Valley of the Gods. I
Okay.
hate that the music.
Was there a
they
release
use, though.
date?
I forgot. So they also announced Devil May Cry HD Collection. 1, 2, and 3 will be coming to your PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I guess it's like to get people ready for Devil May Cry 5, maybe. Which I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, aesthetic is very similar to Firewatch. I like it
Yeah.
though.
And the color scheme as well, right? I'm not
Yes.
making that up. Okay. It's very orange and red.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
very orange and red.
Yeah. Because the tomb is like in Egypt or something. Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very a
Cool,
lot of sand
Alright.
and very orange sun. The last thing that was kind of cool is this game called Witchfire, and it's a first-person shooter, and it looks kind of like a fast-paced, like Doom style, old school, you know, like shoot 'em up, like Serious Sam, those kind of things, but really dark style. Like Serious Sam is like funny, right? So it's quite
Yeah.
dark. Guess who's making it?
Bethesda.
Is
No, they're still
it's
stuck on
indie.
Skyrim.
It's indie. It's the people who made Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they made a walking simulator, and their second game is going to be a fast-paced first-person shooter.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
The trailer actually looks pretty cool. Yep. So that's all from the Game Awards that I bothered
Cared
to look
about.
up. Yeah, cared about. Yeah. Game of the Year, Zelda. Game Direction, Zelda. Action Adventure Game, Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda.
Persona 5
Zelda.
won Best RPG. Injustice 2 won Best Fighting Game. I've been thinking of getting that actually.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
Oh, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds won Best Multiplayer. Best Impact Game, Games for Impact is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Audio design is also Hellblade. Best music is Nier Automata.
I don't know Hellblade.
Is that AA game Ninja Theory that is like about mental health, but it's an action game? It was quite popular. Came out this year. Never mind.
Oh. Wait, is it the one where you're like a Viking lady walking through
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's that. The Viking Lady game. Cuphead won Best Indie Game, Best Debut Indie Game, Best Art Direction.
That should have won Best Multiplayer.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's kind of cheating.
So yeah, that's the thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool,
So yeah, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
I think this Game Awards is the clips from this Game Awards is the least amount I've watched. I cannot stand the cringe. I really can't.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just very sensitive to it.
Yeah, after a while, it gets pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to bring up, guys?
I really don't have anything right now. I've been pretty dying on my own private life, so
Don't die.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Hang in there, skeleton. What?
It's okay. I'll be getting a break soon, so it'll work out.
So yeah. Good place to wrap up?
I guess might as well.
Yeah.
Should I start with the awkward thing?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Go.
You guys
Do
can
it.
find me as Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I am on YouTube. I am on Twitter. I am on Facebook. Go ahead and say hi.
For your turn.
Yeah, I'm Foehamner, and I'm on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. I'm also on Twitter, but YouTube's where the action happens.
2019. The In the Valley of the Gods.
Oh, wow, okay.
Good to know. It's gonna take a while.
Take us to Egypt in the 1920s.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not ancient.
And
cool.
there's already a Steam page for you if you wanna wishlist it and stuff.
Follow it.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are we doing now? Oh yeah.
Where can we find
Who are
you?
you?
I want to get more Char in my life. More Pupunoob.
Twitter and YouTube, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me and
Spirit
I'll
fingers.
talk to you. Salad fingers. Yeah. This has been episode 122 of the playonultra podcast. We will see you next week. I think it should be our last episode of the year next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
figure it out.
We will do that,
Yeah.
oh, this is our favorite games of the year because that's what
Favorite
everyone
games I've
does.
played this year, so I don't keep track of when they come out.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's just games I played this
Yeah.
year. I don't keep track of the newest games.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. See you
So
next
yeah,
time.
see you next week. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.